Hello and welcome back. Okay, so right now we are discussing how you do subtraction when you are dealing with algebraic inequalities. Okay, so again, this is going to be the second part. The first part was we discussing how you do addition when you're dealing with algebraic inequalities. Okay, so let's actually first of all get our inequality out. Okay, so let's say you're given the following inequality: a plus 3 is greater than 4. Now let's actually see what the definition is. So what the definition is actually saying is that you can subtract any number, but you have to do it on both sides. Again, really not that different from how we did subtraction when we were dealing with algebraic equations. And in fact, it is just going to be it's going to be exactly the same in this case as well. Okay, so let's go through the definition one by one. Subtraction, because we're dealing with subtraction, we're going to be using the negative or the minus sign, and whatever number you choose, it's like for example, you choose the number 2, or you choose the negative or you choose the number -3. You're going to select one of them, and you're going to use the same number and subtract it on both sides. Okay, again, this is the most important thing you have to do: subtracting the thing on both sides. And so let's say you subtract the number +3. In this case, that you can do that, okay, because it is just another number. We can do that according to the rule, but you have to do it on both sides. And I use the same number, okay, subtracting on both sides. In this case, it is 3. We are subtracting 3 on both sides. Okay, so if you do that, then you are not disturbing the inequality, and the inequality actually holds. Again, not really different from how we did the algebraic equations when we were doing subtraction when we were dealing with algebraic equations. Okay, so let's actually see the property in action, because that actually always helps. And let's say you're given the following example: b plus 2 is less than 4, and you're trying to find out the value of b. And because we're dealing with inequalities, you're not actually going to get the exact value, but you're going to get a whole range of values, which b can take on. Again, it is not going to be a static value; it's going to be a range of values. Okay, it's not going to be exact. So again, when we are trying to find a value of any variable, b in this case, you have to isolate the variable, and we can do that by removing the +2, which is right besides the b. And how do you actually do that? You can actually subtract 2 on both sides. Okay, so we can do that. And again, because you're subtracting +2, -1 times +2 is just equal to -2. Okay, negative multiplied with a positive number gives us a negative number, and it's going to be the same case over here again. And let's actually try to simplify the entire inequality. On the left hand side, the 2's are going to cancel out, because the -2 added to a -2 added to that gives us a 0, and we are going to be left with a b. And on the right hand side, for -2, that is just going to be equal to 2. Okay, so in this case, b is going to be less than 2. And again, we haven't found the exact value, but we do know that whatever number b is going to be, it's going to be less than 2. Okay, it can be 1, 0, -50, -1000, whatever it is always going to be less than 2. Okay, so let's actually go through another example. Let's say you're given the following example: a plus 7 is greater than 40. Let's say you want to find out the value of a. How do you do that? Well, you could do that by subtracting the 7, okay? But by subtracting 7 on both sides, so that you can get rid of the 7, which is right beside the a. Okay? And again, it is going to be -7, because we are adding, we are subtracting +7. -1 times +7 is just going to be equal to -7. Okay? On the left hand side, the 7's are going to cancel out, and on the right hand side, 40 -7, that gives us 33. So we have found out the value of a, and again, not exactly, but we have found the ranges of value that a can take, and that is greater than 33. It can be 37, 400, 5000, whatever the value actually is, it is going to be greater than 33. Thank you for watching. That is all from my side, and I really hope you learned something.